Hello, so the last video got cut off, I realized that. So I just wanted to go over the problems that we did after the video cut off and let you know how to do that and look at the IXL a little bit with you too. So for this situation, they gave us the perimeter and one length, but we had to find the width. And I was telling you guys that you could use either one of these formulas to find that missing piece. It doesn't matter which one. And then I solved each one for you so you could see how to solve it. And so this is why we were learning how to solve equations so much the past month, because now that you know how to solve equations, you're actually using that in the formulas that we use. So the example that I did here with this one is, since the 2 is on the outside of the parentheses, I have to distribute that 2 to the inside of the parentheses. And that's what I did. And I said that 32 equals 24 plus 2w, because I distributed that 2. And then I just solved the equation like you would normally solve an equation. So I did minus 24, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. That canceled out, and I was just left with 2w equals 8. And then to get w alone, I have to divide both sides by whatever is next to that w. So since there was a 2 next to the w, I divided both sides by 2. The 2's canceled out, so I just got w equals, and then 8 divided by 2 is 4. And I can put my little inches there. So the answer to our missing side is w equals 4. All right, and then this was just the other equation that you could have plugged it into and how I solved that. And then once I got to this step here, it was the same as this other side. And so you can just see how it's solved, okay? Then, nope, hold on. Then we did this one, which was an area problem. So they gave us the area and the width, and we needed to find the length. So that length is missing. So what we did is we wrote down the formula for area, and then we just plugged in what we knew. We knew that A equaled 96, and we knew that the W equaled 8. And so it says 96 equals L times 8. And since we're used to having the number in the front, what I did is I just rewrote it with the number in front of the variable. So 96 equals 8L. And then to get the L alone, I divided both sides by the 8. And then I got L equals 12 meters. Okay? And I'm going to do a little bit of the IXL for you too. So copy this down and I'll be right back. Forgot to put my shield on. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit of the IXL now, and I'm going to go back and forth between this screen and the IXL screen because this is where I'm going to show my work. This is the formula that we're going to be using today. The distance equals rate times time. Now in all of the problems on IXL today, we should be finding distance, so this is the only formula you'll need, but let's get started. It says, while skydiving, Santiago fell toward Earth at 53.4 meters per second. So remember, if you see miles per hour, meters per second, that is your speed, your rate, or your velocity. Okay, so if I go over here, my rate is 53.4 meters per second. Okay? And he fell for 15 seconds. So that is my time. So every time you get one of these problems, you need to write down these things because that will help you know where to plug things into the formula. Because today it's all D equals, but coming down the road later in the week, you're going to have anything that you're finding. Like you might be finding rate, you might be finding time. So you've got to write down what you know so that you can solve for what you don't know. So I'm just going to plug those in. I have 53.4 times 15, and we're going to use parentheses for times, or the little multiplication dot, but I think parentheses is better in this case. So 53.4 times 15, 801. So the distance equals 801. And remember, it was meters per second, so it's going to be 801 meters. All right, so let's plug that in IXL and see if we got it right. 801. And we did, yay. Okay, good. So let's do the next one. So for 2.6 seconds, that's my time. So I'm going to plug that into time. Two 0.6 seconds. And a vulture soared west at 15 meters per second. Again, meters per second is the rate or the velocity or the speed. So 15 meters per second. And then I'm just going to plug it in to find the d. So d equals 15 times 2.6. 39. So our d equals 39, and I think we're doing meters again. Yep. Okay. So it's going to be these same types of problems all day today for the IXL. You only have to go to 45 today, right here. So make sure you just stop when you get to 45. I know these problems take a little bit of work. That's why I only had you go to 45. But right now I'm doing some kind of a challenge where if I get 3 in a row correct, something happens. So let me do one more and see what I get if I get 3 right. So Sharon's using her remote control sub to explore underwater. The sub is moving northeast at 94.5 seconds. So that's the rate. I'm going to show you that in a second. I'm just going to write it down right now. 94.5 seconds, or centimeters per second, sorry. And then if its velocity remains constant, how far will the submarine move in 10 seconds? So my time is 10 seconds, okay? So we're going to plug that in. 94.5 times 10, 945. And this time we're talking about centimeters. Okay. Yay, okay, hooray, stage 2. You answered 3 questions correctly in a row. Okay, hockey puck is sliding. Alright, so this is how you're going to do it today. And email me if you have any questions, and I will see you next time.